Catholic women. These are 5 qualities that you have to look for in a Catholic man. And I know what you're saying. Sergio, you're a guy. How do you know what we women are looking for? Wait, I have asked a lot of girls on things that they look for in a Catholic man, and these are some of the things that they told me, and I agree 100% with them. So yeah, let's jump right into it. The first one, and obviously, he has to be devout. And I don't mean devout in the sense that, oh, he just goes to Sunday Mass. No, you're looking for somebody truly devout, somebody who prays like daily, who tries to go to daily Mass, maybe not every single day, but tries. Either he goes daily or he watches the Mass online. Look, girls, if you find somebody that goes to daily Mass in person or watches it online, he's a keeper. He's a keeper, girls. Because let's be honest, nowadays, which guy wants to take time out of their day to go to daily Mass or watch it online? Absolutely nobody. So if you find a guy like that, he's a keeper. Trust me. He might commit sins, he might have other flaws, but he's trying. That shows that he's trying. And that, my friends, is really good. This one depends more on each person, on each girl. But if you find a guy who made the vow or the promise of chastity, incredible guy you have in your hands. Because not every guy does that. And please, girls, if you find a guy who was in the seminary or even thought of becoming a seminarian, girls, get married with her. Get married with him. Because that is the biggest example of somebody who loves God. If you find a guy who was in the seminary or was thinking on joining seminary, girls, like I said, marry him. Because that is the example of somebody who is truly devout. Somebody who was willing to offer himself to God, to give his life to God. And obviously, he has to pray. If you are talking with a guy that doesn't pray, I mean, come on, girls. No. Saint Josemaria Escriva says, if you are not a man of prayer, I do not believe in the purity of your intentions when you say you work for Christ. In other words, if he doesn't praise, how do you expect for him to, in a way, be faithful to you? He has no foundation. Somebody who prays has the foundation of Christ. They know that if they cheat on you or they're talking to different girls, they're not disrespecting just you, but also God himself. So find a guy who prays. Second thing, he has to be somebody who loves Mary. Look, you girls, more than anybody else, more than us guys, you know that the way a guy treats his mom is the way he's going to treat you in the future. And if you find a guy who treats or doesn't even likes Mary, like, come on. How do you expect for that guy to like you when he doesn't even likes the mom of Jesus, his mom? Mary is his mom and he doesn't like her? That's a huge red flag. Find a guy who loves Mary, who loves her so much, even to the point that he's gonna love Mary more than you by a whole lot. Because Mary is our mother. How can you tell if a guy loves Mary? If he prays the rosary daily? If he talks beautiful, precious about our Holy Mother? Look, if a guy loves Mary, he's gonna try to be a Joseph for you. Just like Joseph loved, respected, and took care of Mary. The same way he's gonna try to imitate Saint Joseph and do the same with you. He whom God wants to make very holy, he makes him devout to the Virgin Mary. So if you want to find a guy who is going to be holy, he has to love Mary. So make sure he loves Mary. The third thing, he has to be somebody who works, who is a worker. Somebody who is actually trying to better himself. Don't find somebody who is just going to be all day in the couch scrolling through social media. No. Find somebody who is willing to sacrifice day in, day out for you, for your future family with him. And it could be that that guy right now, he's maybe not in a good place financially, whatever. But you have to at least know that he's trying to get somewhere. How can you tell that that guy is going to be a good worker? that could provide for you in the future in the little things. Does he wake up early? Is he dedicated? Does he work out? Does he do things that scare him? Does he praise on his knees? All those little things is a reflection of the bigger things that he's gonna do. So find a guy who is a worker, who is willing to work even in the worst possible job in order to bring the bread to the table. That's a good guy. Pope Francis said, work is part of God's plan of love. Work is fundamental element for a person's dignity. In case you don't know, we have just made this Catholic Bible in a year tracker. It has all the 365 days. You can see the things that you're reading. You can go back. It's just perfect. So check it out. Link in the description below. And thank you. The fourth thing, girls, find a guy that has character, that he has boundaries. Somebody who has character is somebody who's not going to compromise his beliefs in order to please other people for human respect. No, somebody that has character is going to defend what he believes. For example, let's say that John, somebody comes and they attack his religion. He stays quiet, he doesn't talk, he's just like this. How do you expect for John in the future when he makes that promise to you, I'm going to be with you in the good and in the bad moments? How do you expect him to have character and mean what he says if he didn't even have character in the little things? If a guy or anybody doesn't have character in the little things, he's not going to have them in the bigger things. Also, find a guy that is going to have boundaries, who is going to know what he wants and the things he's going to allow. Even find a guy who is going to correct you every time you do bad things. Because a guy who corrects you is somebody who loves you. If somebody doesn't love you, he's not going to correct you. He's not going to try to tell you the things you do wrong. Why? Because he doesn't care. Somebody that truly loves you is going to tell you the things you're doing wrong. For example, let's say I'm dating a girl and this girl, she's saying bad words or she's talking bad about other people. I'm going to be like, you know what? I'm sorry, but that's not Christian-like. That's not Catholic-like. And you have to stop that. So find a guy who has character and he's going to speak and defend what he believes and that he also has boundaries. Before continuing to the last point, which is the most important one, this is one more point that I think, you girls know, every guy doesn't have to have, but he could have. It's a plus. And that is for him to have humor, to be happy. Look, saints were happy. Saints were joyful. They would laugh often. So find a guy like that. Somebody you can play around. Somebody you can joke around. Because at the end of the day, you don't want a guy who is just going to be serious all the time. No, like find somebody you can joke around and everything. And I'm not saying that if you do find a guy who is just serious, it's bad. No, maybe that's just the way he is. Maybe he has a different kind of humor. But overall, try to find somebody you can just laugh with. You girls, more than anybody, you know that one of the things that girls look for is somebody with humor. And now the last point. Find somebody that his end goal in life is to be holy. This is extremely important. Look, if you find a guy who tells you, you know what, Jasmine, or whatever your name is, my end goal, more than riches, more than having a great job, more than traveling, more than anything, my end goal is to be holy. Girl, get married with her. Sign the papers, get married with him. Because if you find a guy like that who tells you my end goal is to be holy, the perfect man. Pope Pius the 12th said, marriage is a means to sanctification, where spouses marry to become saints. At the end of the day, you're marrying that person to become saints with them, to walk on the path of holiness with them. So make sure you marry a guy who is actually trying to become a saint. Not just a guy who is kind of devout. No, find a guy who is actually trying to become a saint. And like I said, if you do find that guy, sign the papers, get married with him right now. Well, no, I'm joking, but you know what I mean. And lastly, Saint Teresa of Lisieux of the Little Flower had a beautiful phrase. True love begins when nothing is sought in return. When you're loving without expecting nothing in return. Look, getting together with a person, dating them, or marrying them At the end of the day, it's not for your own self pleasure. It's not about selfishness. It's not about saying, oh, I'm gonna date Jasmine because she makes me feel happy, joyful, and I just feel good with them. When you date a person, you date them because of them. Obviously, they have to make you feel happy in a way, but the main purpose for dating a person is for them. You accept the weird, the good, the bad things about them. It's about saying, you know what? I love this person so much that I just want to be part of her life. I want to be part of her day to day. I want to walk in the path of holiness with them. Now the question is, Sergio, okay, yes, these qualities are absolutely great, but where can I find guys like that? Look, girls, beautiful ladies, I'm not gonna lie to you. It is absolutely difficult, especially in today's society. The amount of men like this, it is minimum, but they are out there. Even here in my local parishes, I see guys who go to daily mass who are trying to become saints. There are actually guys out there. Where can you meet them? Obviously, I personally think that the best place is in church, is in mass. And as we know, yes, guys have to take the first step. But please, ladies, you have to understand, we men, we get shy. We get shy whenever we see beautiful girls like you. Like, you have to understand, there's guys out there that they're shy, that they get embarrassed, that they don't have that confidence to walk up to you. And that's why I recommend for you to smile at them, to try to do things in order for him to approach you. And if he still doesn't approach you, I'm sorry, but try for you to approach him. Do I think it is correct for a guy to approach a woman? Absolutely not. I think that's the job of the guy. But if he just doesn't seem to approach you, you approach him. There was a study made that the women that approach men are more likely to date them and even marry them than girls that don't. So if you really like a guy and you see him in church, just approach him. You have nothing to lose. And like I said, I believe that that is the job of the guy. Every guy should have confidence to approach a girl and say, you know what? I find you absolutely beautiful and I would like to get to know you more. But like I said, especially for Catholic men, they're just shy whenever they see a beautiful girl like you. So please, approach him if he doesn't seem to approach you. Now, this is something that I recommend everybody to do. Girls, I want you to do a list of all the things you're looking for in a guy. But don't be too specific. Don't say he has to be 6 feet tall, he has to have blue eyes. No, girls, come on, don't be too picky. The important things, please. The vow, he has to have character, he has to love Mary, he has to have made the promise of chastity. Just the important things, please. And then below that list, make another list of the things that you have to have, the qualities that you have to have in order to attract a guy like that. Because you cannot write, oh yeah, I'm looking for a guy with all these qualities, but I myself, I don't go to mass, I don't pray, I don't do this and that. Come on, girls. I'm sorry to break it to you, but that guy that has all those qualities is not gonna like you because he's looking for somebody the same qualities. And you know how I said that he has to love Mary? Another way you can tell if he loves Mary is if he has done his consecration to Mary. And this is a video I did about talking about the consecration to Mary. Thank you so much and God bless you all. Ciao.